Imagine this nightmare scenario. I wake up tomorrow morning and everything is gone. My portfolio? Zero. My net worth? Zero. My knowledge? I keep that. But my money is completely wiped out. I am back to square one. I have a beat-up Honda Civic, a job paying $50,000 a year, and a bank account that has barely enough money to buy a McChicken. Most people in this situation would panic. They would cry. They would call their mom and ask to move back into the basement. But I wouldn't, because I have the blueprint. If I had to start investing from scratch in 2026, I would not do what the gurus tell you to do. I wouldn't buy crypto meme coins hoping for a lottery ticket to save me. I wouldn't waste time analyzing individual stocks like I'm the Wolf of Wall Street, staring at charts until my eyes bleed. And I definitely wouldn't stuff my cash under a mattress like a paranoid squirrel. In 2026, the game has changed. Inflation is stickier, housing is expensive, and the old rules of just save money in a piggy bank are dead. If you are just saving, you are losing. You are bleeding out slowly. So, if I were starting today with absolutely nothing, this is the exact, step-by-step, cheat code I would use to go from zero to my first $100,000 in record time. I am going to give you the accounts, the tickers, the psychology, and the exact strategy. This isn't just a how-to video. This is a survival guide for the modern economy. No fluff. No sales pitch. Let's get rich. Phase 1 is the mindset audit. Before I even open a bank account, I have to perform surgery on my own brain. The reason most people stay poor isn't because they don't have money. It's because they have a consumer operating system. From the moment you are born, you are programmed to spend. Watch TV? Buy this car. Scroll Instagram? Buy these shoes. Walk down the street? Buy this coffee. You are a battery that powers the corporate machine. If I am starting from zero, I have to unplug from the matrix. I have to switch my brain from consumer mode to owner mode. When a consumer sees an iPhone, they think, I want that. It costs $1,000. I can finance it for $40 a month. When an owner sees an iPhone, they think, Apple stock is up 20% this year. I want to own the company that makes the phone, not the phone itself. This shift is painful. It means I have to look at my friends driving brand new leased trucks and realize they aren't rich. They are just efficient at burning money. I have to be okay with looking broke temporarily so I can be wealthy permanently. If I can't handle the ego hit of driving a rusty car for 2 years, I don't deserve to drive a Porsche later. Phase 2 is the shield. Now that my head is right, I need to protect my downside. Before I invest a single penny into the stock market, I need to make sure I don't die. The biggest reason people fail at investing isn't because they pick bad stocks. It's because they get forced to sell good stocks at the wrong time. Imagine this. You buy shares of the S&P 500. The market crashes 10%. You are calm. But then, your transmission blows up. You have no cash. You have to sell your stocks at a loss to fix your car. You just turned a temporary dip into a permanent loss. You played yourself. So, step 1 of the blueprint is building a bulletproof vest of $1,000 to $2,000. Just 1 month of expenses. This is not an investment. This is insurance. It buys me peace of mind. It buys me the ability to sleep when the check engine light comes on. But here is the critical part for 2026. I am not leaving this money in a standard checking account with Big Bank America. You know the ones, the banks with the big marble pillars downtown. They pay you 0.01% interest. That is an insult. That is the bank taking your money, lending it out at 7% for a mortgage, keeping all the profit, and giving you a penny. I am putting this shield money into a high-yield savings account, or HYSA. In 2026, these accounts are still paying 4 to 5% interest. It takes 5 minutes to open one on your phone. If your bank isn't paying you at least 4% just to hold your money, break up with them. They are using you. Stop being a loyal customer to a business that treats you like a fool. Phase 3 is the free money grab. Now I have my shield. I have some extra cash flow. Where does it go first? Do I open Robinhood? No. I go to my employer. If I have a job that offers a 401k match, this is mathematically the best investment in the universe. Let's say my job matches 50% of my contributions up to 6% of my salary. If I put in $1, they put in 50 cents. That is an instant, guaranteed, risk-free 50% return on my money. You cannot get that in the stock market. You cannot get that in real estate. You cannot get that in crypto. If I walk past a pile of free money on the sidewalk, I pick it up. Skipping the employer match is walking past free money. It is literally part of your salary that you are rejecting. I will contribute exactly enough to get the full match, and not a penny more. Why not more? Because 401k investment options usually suck. They have high fees and limited choices. I want the free money, then I want out. Phase 4 is the vehicle. Now the match is maxed out. I still have cash. Where do I put it? This is where we enter the tax-free zone. If I am starting over, I am going immediately to a Roth IRA. This is the holy grail of investing accounts. The government gives us very few gifts. The Roth IRA is the biggest one. Here is the magic. I put money in today that I have already paid taxes on. I buy investments. Those investments grow for 10, 20, 30 years. They double, triple, quadruple. Dividends reinvest. The snowball gets massive. And when I pull that money out in retirement, I pay zero taxes. Nothing. The IRS gets a donut. Imagine if I bought Amazon stock 20 years ago in a normal account. I would owe the government a massive chunk of my profits. But in a Roth IRA, I keep 100% of it. If I become a millionaire inside a Roth IRA, I am a tax-free millionaire. If you are not maxing this out first, you are literally volunteering to pay more taxes than you have to. I will aim to hit the annual contribution limit every single year. It is roughly $7,000 depending on the year. That is about $583 a month. That is my monthly bill to my future freedom. Phase 5 is the engine. Now I have the account. What do I actually buy? This is the part where everyone overcomplicates it. They want to find the next Tesla. They want to find the next NVIDIA. They think they can read a balance sheet better than a Goldman Sachs algorithm. Picking individual stocks is a loser's game. Even the professionals who get paid millions of dollars to pick stocks fail to beat the market 90% of the time over a 10-year period. I am not arrogant enough to think I am smarter than a supercomputer. And neither are you. So, I am buying the haystack. I am buying an S&P 500 ETF. Ticker symbol VOO or IVV. When I buy one share of VOO, I am not buying one company. I am buying the 500 largest, most profitable, most dominant companies in America. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, JP Morgan, Visa, Walmart. I own a tiny piece of all of them. Here is why this is brilliant. The S&P 500 is self-cleansing. It is survival of the fittest. If a company starts to fail, let's say, like Blockbuster did, it gets kicked out of the index. If a new company rises up, like Tesla did, it gets added to the index. The index automatically sells the losers and buys the winners for me. I don't have to do any research. I don't have to read the news. I just own the market. This strategy has returned an average of 10% per year for the last century. It doubles your money roughly every 7 years. My job is not to find the needle in the haystack. My job is to buy the whole haystack and go to sleep. Phase 6 is the accelerator. Now, here is the harsh truth about 2026. A 10% return on a small amount of money is boring. 10% of $1,000 is $100. That won't change my life. That won't buy me a house. To get rich fast, I need to shovel more coal into the engine. I need to increase my income velocity. Wealth is a simple equation. Income minus expenses equals investable capital. Most people try to solve this by focusing only on expenses. They stop drinking coffee. They reuse tea bags. They live like miserable monks. That works to a point, but there is a floor. You cannot cut your expenses to zero. You have to eat. You have to pay rent. But there is no ceiling on income. In this phase, I am playing offense. I am auditing my life. Do I need 5 streaming services? No. Cancel 4. Do I need to order Uber Eats 3 times a week? No. That is poverty behavior. I will cook eggs. But more importantly, I am looking at my 5 to 9. What am I doing after work? Am I watching Netflix? Am I playing video games? That time is an asset. In 2026, the gig economy is massive. I can drive Uber. I can walk dogs. I can sell things on eBay. I can edit videos. I can use AI to write copy. If I can make an extra $500 a month and I invest that into the S&P 500, over 30 years, that extra $500 becomes over $1 million. Read that again. The side hustle money isn't beer money. It is $1 million money. I am taking every single dollar I save from cutting the fat and every single dollar I earn from the side hustle, and I am throwing it into the machine. I am aggressive. I am hungry. I am not saving for a rainy day. I am investing for a hurricane of wealth. Phase 7 is the robot. We have the strategy. We have the income. Now we need to remove the biggest point of failure, me. I am a human. I have emotions. I get scared when the market drops. I get greedy when the market goes up. I get tempted to buy stupid things when I see a sale. If I rely on willpower to invest, I will fail. Willpower is a battery that drains throughout the day. By 8 p.m., I don't have the discipline to transfer money to my brokerage account. I barely have the discipline to brush my teeth. So, I am building a robot. I am automating everything. I log into my bank and set up an automatic transfer for payday. The moment my paycheck hits my checking account, the robot wakes up. It instantly grabs $500 or whatever my number is and moves it to my Roth IRA. Then, inside the Roth IRA, another robot automatically buys VO. I never see the money. It never sits in my checking account tempting me. It is gone before I can touch it. This is called paying yourself first. I treat my investments like a bill. I pay Netflix. I pay my landlord. I pay the electric company. Why wouldn't I pay my future self? My future self is the most important person in my life. I am going to make sure he gets paid before Netflix does. Phase 8 is the mindset shift. This is the hardest part. The logistics are easy. The psychology is brutal. The first year of this new life is going to suck. I promise you. I will work hard. I will drive a crappy car. I will eat homemade sandwiches while my coworkers go to Chipotle. I will save money, and I will look at my account and see $5,000. It will feel insignificant. It will feel like I am emptying the ocean with a spoon. I will see my friends buying new trucks and going on trips to Tulum, posting photos on Instagram, looking happy. I will feel like a loser. I will feel like I am missing out. But I know the secret. I know that they are financing that lifestyle with debt. I know that the truck owns them. They don't own the truck. I also know the math of the snowball. I know that the first $100,000 is a grind. It is a war of attrition. It takes time for the interest to start compounding. But I also know that once I cross that line, the math flips. Compound interest wakes up and starts doing the heavy lifting. The second 100,000 comes twice as fast. The third comes even faster. If I started today in 2026, I would put my head down. I would ignore the crypto hype. I would ignore the get-rich-quick scams. I would ignore the signaling and the status games. I would build the shield, fill the Roth IRA, buy the S&P 500, and automate the entire process. It is boring. It is unsexy. It won't make me famous at a cocktail party. And it is the only guaranteed way to become a millionaire. You don't need a high IQ to do this. You don't need a finance degree. You just need high pain tolerance for boredom. If you can handle being bored for a few years, you can handle being rich for the rest of your life. This blueprint is not a lottery ticket. It is a contract you sign with yourself. It says, I am willing to sacrifice today so that I can be free tomorrow. But I know what you were thinking. Ryan, this S&P 500 stuff is great for the long term, but I want cash flow now. I want to replace my salary. Well, there is a way to do that. I broke down exactly how to take a tiny seed, just $500, and build a machine that pays you $2,000 a month in pure passive income. It is the perfect income accelerator to add to this blueprint. If you want the specific math and the tickers to make that happen, watch this video right here. Click it, and let's get you paid.